A Bourbon County middle school teacher accused of several incidents involving students was in court this morning. More on what happened in court just ahead.
Students are learning more information today about the closure of ITT. Coming up, we'll tell you what the Department of Education is doing to address their concerns.
Things look pretty good across the region right now. I don't see any issues the rest of the day. It's about the heat the next couple of days, and then some storms move on in. I'm going to show you when I expect those coming up.
This is WKYT News at Noon.
Good afternoon from WKYT News at Noon. I'm Barbara Bailey with Bill Bryant. A Bourbon County middle school teacher accused of having inappropriate contact with students is now facing more charges.
Richard Massey was in court this morning for the first time. WKYT's Andrea Walker was there for his arraignment, and now these additional charges, and she'll tell us what happened. It's our top story at noon. Andrea.
For the first time today, a Bourbon County teacher appeared before a judge inside the courtroom, but he wasn't there long as the judge, Vanessa Dixon, recused herself from the case. Richard Massey was charged with 9 counts of harassment with physical contact this morning. An additional 6 counts were brought against him today, bringing the total to 15 counts involving 4 female students, at least for now.
There is an investigation that is pending, so.
Do you expect more?
There could be. I really don't know at this point.
The arraignment phase of the case was waived inside the courtroom today. A pre-trial conference date was set for Tuesday, November 8th. In Bourbon County, Andrea Walker, WKYT.
Andrea, thank you. And the original warrant states that Massey has admitted to most of the allegations against him. He denied our request for comment outside the courtroom today.
Kentucky Attorney General Andy Beshear just announced that he plans to intervene in the University of Kentucky's lawsuit against its student-run newspaper.
The Kentucky Colonel is being sued by UK after the paper tried to force the university to comply with an open records request. WKYT's Michelle Chamberlain is live with the details that are new at noon. Michelle?
We just got out of a press conference here where Beshear says he will intervene in UK's lawsuit against the student newspaper, the Kentucky Colonel. Now, as we've reported this week, UK is suing the student paper as part of an appeal against Beshear's opinion ordering the university to release to the paper the records from a sexual misconduct case allegedly involving a UK professor. Now, Beshear says the university also withheld the open records from his office for review during the appeals process. Beshear will intervene in the case by filing a motion with a judge later today to get the university to provide his office with those records. Beshear says the Attorney General's position to review withheld records is an important part of the records law, open records law. He says he cannot allow UK to turn into what he calls a trust us institution.
I do not take this step lightly. In fact, this may be the first time that the Attorney General's office has sought to intervene in a case in this way. But what's at stake is too important, and the ramifications are simply too great.
Now, Beshear went on to say that the university's position on withholding the records is irresponsible. UK has said they denied the open records request to protect the identity of the victims in the case. Live in Frankfort, Michelle Chamberlain, WKYT.
Michelle, thank you. And by the way, the Kentucky Colonel has been trying to raise $15,000 needed for this legal battle. And the Colonel's editor-in-chief, Marjorie Kirk, tells WKYT News that the paper has raised more than that at this point. Kirk says the Kentucky Press Association provided $7,500 to the paper just yesterday. And Attorney General Beshear also announced that his office is suing a Lexington home remodeling company for violating the Commonwealth's Consumer Protection Act. That lawsuit is against American Home Design Incorporated, which does business as sunrooms and more. The suit claims that on several occasions the company did not have building permits, did not fix defective work, and misrepresented their products. The Attorney General is asking a judge to order the company to repay customers.
Well, we've had a nice long stretch of sunny days lately, but we might be due for some rain soon. WKYT meteorologist Micah Harris is live in our First Alert Weather Center now with an early look at the forecast. Micah?
Here in Lexington, we have been in the lower 90s the past few days. It hasn't really felt like it, though. I know it's been warm, don't get me wrong, but the humidity's not way up. It's not sky high. And so now that you're starting to feel those humid conditions creep on in, you know, something's on the way. It always happens. And here we go. With that front to the north of us, winds are coming in from the south and southwest. That front will glide toward us in the upcoming days. Once this high pressure system moves down toward the south into, say, South Carolina, what that does is it opens the door for that front to roll on through. Right now, you're not seeing any effect from that front. It's beautiful outside. A couple more hours and you'll start seeing a few clouds build in. But just like the past 2 days, southeastern Kentucky, you're actually going to feel quite nice. Central, north, and western zones already at 88 degrees here in Lexington. You go over toward Louisville, we're at 89, Fort Knox 89, 90 degrees in Owensboro. So you see where the warmest air is located, and it's heading our direction along with that moisture. So to be warm, it'll be sunny, and we'll stay dry today. But the next few days will actually throw in some showers and thunderstorms. Now, it's not for everybody. Most of us actually stay dry, but there is one certain spot that actually expect a few storms there for the next couple of days. And I'll show you where that is and when they arrive, how that's going to affect all your plans coming up.
We're learning more about the murder of a Boyle County woman. State police say Rhonda Oakley's body was found last week by her stepson when he came home from school. Days later, Oakley's teenage stepdaughter was arrested in New Mexico, along with an older man. Now, WDRB in Louisville is reporting that court documents show 911 dispatchers in New Mexico referred to Jenna Oakley as a primary suspect in the homicide. Jenna is in a juvenile detention center now in New Mexico, and police have not said if she's facing any charges. The man she was found with has bonded out of jail and is not facing any charges in Kentucky. A man is in critical condition and another is in jail after a crash in Fleming County. State police say 59-year-old George Kasich lost control of his car on Ewing Road and hit Sean Schaefer's motorcycle. Schaefer was flown to UK Hospital. Kasich is in the Mason County Jail and is facing several charges, including DUI.
Thousands of college students are left with uncertain futures today after ITT Technical Institute suddenly shut down. The for-profit college chain announced it is closing all of its 130 campuses nationwide, including the one here in Lexington. Today, the college is planning to address students' concerns, and Lauren Miner joins us now with the details on that. Lauren?
Today, students are learning more information about the closure of ITT Tech. The Department of Education is sponsoring a series of national webinars. Yesterday, students gathered outside of ITT Tech upset and concerned about their future education. The Department of Education is hoping to address students' questions and concerns during hour-long webinars going on today. The first one began at 10 this morning, and there is one going on now that started at noon. I got the chance to listen in on the 10 o'clock webinar, and one of the most frequent asked questions is where can students pick up their transcripts and student records? They answered the best step to take is to contact your state agency and visit one of the information fairs that will be happening around the country. Those dates and times will be posted on the Federal Student Aid website. The webinars are also being recorded and archived to the site for future use and reference. If you are looking for more information about the closure of ITT, we do have a link on our website, WKYT.com. Reporting in Lexington, Lauren Miner, WKYT.
Lauren, thank you. And local NAACP President William Saunders paid a visit to ITT Tech's campus in Lexington yesterday, and he talked with students. He's having a meeting today at 4:30 to talk with students about their options and the next steps that they need to take. That meeting will take place at the NAACP office. He says any ITT student is welcome to attend that.
Lexington's oldest bar is adding a special sign today to pay tribute to its past.
An iconic sign. The Chevy Chase Inn on Euclid Avenue will be putting up this neon sign later today. It is recreated from a similar one that stood outside that bar decades ago.
We bought the bar back in March of 2015, and we bought this because we wanted to save an old piece of history. And through our cleaning up the place, we found boxes and boxes of old pictures.
Owners say after finding a picture of the classic neon sign, they got the idea to try to bring it back. They did a Kickstarter to raise money for the sign, and a lot of folks chipped in. It will be installed this afternoon. Chevy Chase Inn opened during the 1930s, shortly after the end of Prohibition in this country. What about that?
Yeah, that's a nice way to do it, too, with everybody chipping in.
A battle over the military. Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton are focused on who will make the best commander-in-chief. The latest on that coming up on Kentucky's #1 Midday News. Welcome back to WKYT News at noon. Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton are focusing on the military today as they're talking about veterans and foreign policy throughout this week.
Now, Trump is making a case for an expanded military, while Hillary Clinton suggests Trump is unfit to be commander-in-chief. Weijia Jiang has more on the campaign.
Donald Trump wants to expand America's military, but he doesn't want to send soldiers to fight foreign wars.
I believe in a foreign policy based on our national interests that focus on American security and regional stability.
Trump and Hillary Clinton will both participate in a forum focused on veterans tonight. According to a new NBC News SurveyMonkey poll, Trump holds an almost 20-point lead over Clinton with military and veteran voters. But Clinton is more trusted with the use of nuclear weapons.
He's very loose in his talk about nukes. He says he doesn't care if other countries get them, doesn't know why they haven't been used already.
Republicans continue questioning Clinton's use of a private email server while she was Secretary of State. Trump says the controversy is worse than Watergate.
Our foreign enemies were in a position to hack our most sensitive national security secrets.
Congressman Jason Chaffetz is also asking the U.S. Attorney in D.C. to find out why a computer specialist deleted Secretary Clinton's email archives in March after a congressional subpoena had been issued.
The FBI resolved all of this. Their report answered all the questions. The findings included debunking his latest conspiracy theories.
Wednesday morning, the State Department announced all but one of the 15,000 emails the FBI recently discovered had already been turned over. Weijia Jiang, CBS News, the White House.
Now, the Dallas Morning News is calling Clinton the only serious candidate in the race. It's the first time the paper has endorsed a Democrat in 75 years.
A Las Vegas murder suspect who escaped from police is now back behind bars. Police arrested 25-year-old Alonzo Perez last night. He'd been on the run since Friday after escaping from a police interrogation room, even breaking out of his handcuffs. Police say Perez shot and killed a man last month outside a McDonald's.
Delta's computer outage last month really hurt the airline financially. New at noon, Delta says the 5-hour outage at its Atlanta Operations Center cost them $150 million. The problem happened early in the morning of August 8th and affected the computers needed to book passengers and fly jets. Thousands of flights were canceled as a result.
Well, adults and kids, it turns out, will have to toughen up and get a shot for flu protection this year. The CDC says the popular flu mist is subpar. Just doesn't work as well, leaving parents and pediatricians only one option, and that's the flu shot. The recommendation to inoculate children against the flu remains intact. The American Academy of Pediatrics suggests everyone 6 months or older should be vaccinated for flu for this season by October. Well, Apple is expected to announce its latest iPhone today in an event being held in San Francisco.
One big change, Apple has likely done away with the analog headphone jack. Instead, the phones will come with wireless headphones that connect to the phone digitally.
Keep it here on WKYT. Funeral plans are now set for a northern Kentucky man who was murdered more than 2 months ago.
Those details coming up at WKYT News at 12:30.
Again, it's all about the heat today, but as we travel off into your next few days, here comes the talk of some thunderstorms. I'll show you if we see any type of severe weather. That's coming up next.
Now, your zone-by-zone forecast with meteorologist Micah Harris.
Just like Monday, just like Tuesday, we're going to have warm conditions. Temperatures right around 90 degrees. It's going to be upper 80s, lower 90s, and also mostly sunny skies with just a few clouds here and there. We stay dry once again today. I don't see any issues whatsoever as you're walking out the door trying to get those kids home from school here in the next few hours. No problems for them as they're coming home, getting off the bus. Now, Florence going up 75, heading over to Moorhead down 64. No problems. All looks well there on the roadways, and we have not heard of any issues. So there you go if you're traveling early this afternoon. Much of the same. Warm, sunny. That's it. Let's talk about your Thursday, though, because it's still on the warm side of things. And all your day in the southeast and east, you guys will have no chance of rain for tomorrow. However, you go into central, northern zones. That does include the bluegrass, north and back toward Louisville. The closer you get toward Louisville and the closer you get toward Cincinnati, that's the best chance at a late day storm. And you say, well, when is late day? Because maybe you have some plans. As of right now, I'd say anywhere from 6 p.m. to about 9 p.m. is when you can see a few rumbles of thunder slide on in that area. So farther you go north, the farther you go back toward the west, that's the best bet during that time. Now, once we head off into the night and into Friday morning, we'll still have a few storms around, but it's definitely no washout. But there is that opportunity to get some pretty heavy downpours out of these. So Friday, there is that chance of rain. Unfortunately, it looks like it could get some of us, a few of us there at Friday Night Football. We'll have to narrow that down as we get a little bit closer. Losing daylight. Here's a little fun, not so fun fact, right? Depending on the way you look at this. Sunset now, later on this evening, 7:58. This is the first time we've had sunset before 8 p.m. since March. And we're losing 1 to 2 minutes per day of sunlight now through November. November, it kind of levels out, and we'll be right there in November at 5:18, 5:19. Yeah, that's a ways away, and you go through daylight savings time during that time. But yeah, guys, we're losing daylight, which actually loses that heat during the day. So you'll start to see temperatures kind of drop off as we go throughout the next few weeks. Best chance of rain in the forecast is going to be Saturday. Still looks like afternoon and evening, the best bet.
All right.
That's what Barb wanted to know.
Afternoon and evening, I can deal with that.
That's it. That's it. We'll see.
Thank you. We're back in just a moment. And coming up, sports. Do some players need to talk less and play more?
And one Wildcat uses his head to get his team a big win. Dave Baker has sports next.
As we go to break this afternoon, let's check stocks. The major market indicators down at midday.
Back in the summer, the Wildcats' talented secondary was none too shy about letting everyone know how talented they thought they were. But then, in one of the final preseason scrimmages, they could do little to stop the Wildcat offense. Then in Saturday's opener, J.D. Harmon's 2 picks were really the only 2 standout plays by that group. Talking's great, but it's time for these playmakers to make some plays.
As I always say, if you're playing that position, you're going to win some and they're going to win some. And I was pleased to see J.D. win some of those. He had some good covers, he had a tip, and he had the 2 big picks. So certainly you got to applaud what he did and how he played. And our other 2 corners didn't play very well in my eyes.
Wildcats open SEC play on Saturday at Florida. Gators have won 29 straight. That's 29 straight in the series. Game Saturday afternoon at 3:30. You can see it right here on WKYT. Immediately following, join us for a special edition of WKYT Game Time. We will hear from Mark Stoops, his post-game news conference right after the game. Well, the great thing about the UK basketball program, there are so many who have made big-time sacrifices to watch their Cats. But Wildcat superfan Bob Wiggins, he was 1 in a million. The Pendleton County native died Tuesday at the age of 88. Wiggins attended his first game in the 1940s, got season tickets in 1954, attending more than 1,600 games in his life. He had a streak of 19 straight years and 615 consecutive games before a heart attack right before they left for the Great Alaska Shootout in November of '96 ended that streak. I think it might have been '97. Wiggins, known as just being one of the great guys, predicted correctly that the Cats would win it all in 2012. Bob Wiggins passing away at the age of 88. Men's soccer last night, 16th ranked Kentucky at home against Louisville. What a grudge match this is. 41st minute, Cats with a free kick. And how about Noah Hutchins spinning? And that is an unbelievable header to put Kentucky on the board. Take a look again off the free kick from Charlie Ryman. Hutchins beats the keeper. That was the only goal as Cleveland came out off his line. UK wins 1-0 on the header. Wildcats still unbeaten on the season. Tonight on the Big Blue Insider with Dick Gabriel, Former Morehead State and Tennessee coach Donnie Tyndall, who is suing the NCAA for $100 million. That'll be one you'll want to catch. That's coming up tonight at 6 on 630 WLAP. Guys, that's a look at sports on this Wednesday.
Yeah, there will be an interesting discussion later on the radio. Yes. Buzz, thank you so much.
And there's more to come in our next half hour of WKYT News at noon.
Funeral arrangements are finally planned for a northern Kentucky man who was murdered more than 2 months ago.
A young man and woman in Pulaski County arrested for what they were trying to do to this rent drop box in Somerset.
Tonight's Powerball jackpot is $186 million, and Friday night's Mega Millions jackpot is $111 million.